Hey y'all, it's your girl Doris Kay and I am back with another video. And on today, I wanted to talk about some things that I've noticed a lot in our culture slash what's popular on social media nowadays. So everybody nowadays wants the title of entrepreneur or boss babe. And it seems like if you are not on this path or this journey towards becoming an entrepreneur or being a boss babe, not working for somebody, that society and the people who are on this path look down on you. So I'm noticing that if you don't desire to be an entrepreneur or to be what they consider a boss babe, which is basically you don't work for nobody else, that you work for yourself, then a lot of people who are currently in that lifestyle of, trying to build their own business or they're successful in it, they kind of, not, and I'm not saying all of them do this, but what I've noticed is a lot of them tend to look down on other people who don't desire that, or tend to look down on people who, are okay with just working their regular 9 to 5 job, or 4 to 12, or 12 at night to 8 a.m. the next morning. They look down upon these people and try to make these people feel bad for not desiring what they desire. And I think it's so dangerous because everybody wasn't placed here to have the same desires. Because if that's the case, everybody will be working for themselves, and we won't have nobody working for nobody else. So then, how are a lot of things going to be keeping it running if there's no employees and employers? Somebody got to work for somebody. Everybody ain't cut out to be a boss or to be an entrepreneur. You got to look at your character, your personal skills, those soft skills. How you talk to people. How do you treat people? Do you meet deadlines? A lot of people fail to realize that. And with being an entrepreneur, you have to have that, you have to be responsible enough to get things done when they are supposed to be done. And you have to have, the word isn't coming to me right now, but basically you have to be able to make things happen without somebody else telling you that they have to be done by such and such time and date. Okay? And so why I really want to talk about this topic is because a lot of people omit the fact that to become a boss babe or an entrepreneur or whatever word they're using out there nowadays, self-made, whatever they're using, it requires discipline, and it also requires you to give up a lot of the things that people your age or in your category would normally be seeking afterwards. I'm just giving you an age gap, 20 in your 20s. That's the time where you're seeking out to find a mate, trying to get married, trying to start in the process of building a family. You're trying to get stable in a job so that you can be able to afford, providing for your family, whether it's your husband, wife, kids. You're trying to get stable and you're trying to get things in place. But when you go on this journey of trying to put all of that aside and strictly just focus on building an empire, becoming your own boss, being a boss babe, being an entrepreneur, as a woman, because I don't want to speak for a man, but as a woman, that means you're saying, I'm not going to focus on getting a man, I'm not going to focus on having kids, I'm just focusing on getting my money. So when you put that in your forefront, you're telling yourself, I can worry about all that other stuff later, but right now I got to focus on this bag. And like I said, ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you desire. But not everybody desires that, and it's okay. Everybody wasn't meant to be or have the same desires as somebody else. And so what you find is you will have women on social media promoting having 4 and 5 different sources of income, which, everybody want that, right? We all want to have more money in our bank account so that we don't lack. We won't have to suffer from, not having enough of. We want abundance of money, But what you find yourself, what we find ourselves seeing is that a lot of these women don't say that in order to have all those different sources and streams of income, they're actively having to put in the hours, actively having to put in the work to have all that income. And so it's like you're exchanging all of your hours for work. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that either, but what I'm saying is people are not truthful in regards to the entrepreneur lifestyle, the boss babe lifestyle. Selfies is more than just taking pictures of all your materialistic goods you've accomplished because of your work that you put in. It's more than that. And if you're having to work all of those hours just to have all that money and to have all those different sources of income, is it truly worth it? Because like I said, you won't have time for nothing else but that. And then you look back later on when you're hitting 30, when you're in your mid 30s, almost 40, and then you're saying, oh, now I want a family, I want a husband. And then you were looking at the dating pool and you're saying, girl, did nobody wait on you? Time didn't stop for you just because you thought that the route of becoming a boss babe, an entrepreneur, was going to lure you to make you more lucrative to men, because men can care less about a woman's bag. A man who is a provider. Now, a man that's not a provider, a man who's looking for a female to provide for him, then it's going to be important that he finds a woman who can financially provide for the both of them. Those will be the men that that woman attracts, because the woman has spent so much time chasing the bag that a lot of times you see these women, they lose their femininity. And being feminine is more than just, oh, I dress girly, oh, I dress, I put my heels on, I got lipstick on, I got makeup on, I keep my hair done. It's more than that, because men, transgender men, do the same thing. Transgender men out here get their hair did, get their nails done, put on makeup, wear heels, but that doesn't make them a woman. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody who chooses that lifestyle, but what I'm trying to get the ladies to see is that just because you dress feminine and dress like a woman doesn't mean that you know how to be feminine. And a lot of times when these women who start picking up all these 5, 6, 7 different sources of income by trying to have 3 and 4 and 5 different jobs, they lose that feminine side to themselves, and then they start acting more masculine. And they don't realize it. Because it's hard to see, when you're actively engaged in it, in that lifestyle, operating in that, I guess, under that spirit. You don't perceive it not. You're blind to the fact. And to somebody else is like, sis, girl, you making money, but you're a little bit aggressive. You're a little bit, manly with it. You may dress like a woman, but you're very aggressive. You take offense easily. You got your mindset is not of a woman. Okay, and another point I wanted to make about the boss babe / entrepreneur lifestyle is that what a lot of people don't tell you, a lot of these women don't tell you, is that majority of these women who do chase their lifestyle, a lot of them are not married, don't have kids, and the ones that do, if you could take a true lens to see the true reality of their personal life, you would be like, oh, so they just paint this picture that's not a true picture of what it's truly like. Because in order to give your all in that lifestyle of being an entrepreneur, having 6 and 7 different streams of income that you're having to work at, that means that they are sacrificing a lot. And that's what social media doesn't tell you about. They don't tell you about the sacrifices those people are having to make. All they show you is that the folks making money, they got the status, they got the power, they got the recognition, they got people wanting to be like them, they getting to go travel around the world. That's all social media shows you, but they don't show you what you having to sacrifice, what you're giving up in order to have it. And this question came to my mind, ladies, and the question was, if we were in a room full of about 20 men, provider men, not just men who want to be provided for, men who desire to provide 100% for their wife. If we were in a room with them and we surveyed 20 of those men and asked them, hey, would you rather your wife be a boss babe / entrepreneur? In order to do that, she has 4 to 5 different sources of income, but she's having to actively engage and work these sources of income for the money to come in for her to be living this lifestyle. And not only that, But with her working, all these different passives and sources, not passive, but having to actually put in the effort and the work into these businesses to keep them thriving, that means there are going to be some days you ain't going to see her because she's going to be standing out of the office. She's going to be out on the road traveling. If y'all got kids, she's not going to be able to give that attention and dedication to them like she would have been able to if she wasn't trying to generate so many different sources of income by having 3 and 4 different businesses. Ladies, I guarantee you, if we ask those provider men, which one would they choose? Would they choose to have their wife only, working a regular everyday job, or if she is an entrepreneur, not chasing the money, but just doing it because she loves it and just doing, having just one source of income versus, and also with that, having time with her husband, with her kids at home, actually able to be a mom and actually able to be a wife, versus a woman that's making 6 and 7 figures, having 5 and 6 different sources of income, but it's not passive income, and she's having to actually put the work in to actually get the money. I guarantee you, ladies, that these men would say, "Oh, I choose the woman who only has, one source of income any day over a woman that has 4 or 5 sources of income." Why? Because the men ain't gonna see the money no way. Most women keep their money to themselves and they expect the husband to provide financially. So it wouldn't benefit the man at all if his wife got all these different sources of income and he's a provider and he's already providing. Do you get what I'm saying? They already have more than enough. So he's like, "Oh, we already got more than enough. We good. If I'm already a provider, what she's bringing to the table is just excess, meaning it's just surplus, And so I wanted to pose that to you women to remember that when you start watching these YouTube videos and these coaches and all these other people on social media, be careful and protect your heart, because if not, you'll find yourself jumping into doing 3, 4, and 5 different jobs, trying to chase all these numerous sources of income that social media is always talking about. And you will find yourself neglecting or, just flat out just refusing to pay attention to the things you should be, kind of a little bit worried about at your age range, because it'll come back to bite you later on. And then also remember that when those social media gurus be coming on there talking about all this passive income, I make $20,000 in passive income. Just question the why behind it. Okay, if they're making $20,000 in passive income, just ask why are they on here trying to sell me. Just question it before you just jump straight into it head first and you look at the money, because a lot of times that's what we do. Hey guys, so I want to go ahead and wrap this video up because I don't want to make it too long. But I hope you were able to get some valuable information out of this video. Again, it was just my opinion, not facts, okay? Not facts at all. So again, if you do choose to live that lifestyle and pursue, entrepreneurship or becoming a boss babe, it's okay. That's your choice. But for the women out there who feel like, this is what culture is pushing me to do, and you're trying to fit in with what everybody else is doing, remember that trends fizzle out as fast as they come. So it won't be a trend forever, and just hold true to what you feel that God is calling you to do. And if He's placed you in a position where He's called you to work for somebody so that you can learn the skills that you need, do that. Okay, don't let nobody else pressure you to jumping into doing a business or owning a business that you don't even have peace about. Because they're not going to be there with you when you're stressed out and when you feel like you're sinking. It'll just be you and God. Okay? So again, everybody don't got to be a boss babe or entrepreneur. Okay? I hope you guys have a good one. Comment your suggestions below. Peace out. Don't nobody even do peace signs no more, but hey. Oh, not the peace sign. Don't nobody even do the little deuces no more, but your girl still do.